Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Welcome aboard for a Sunday morning edition as we get set up to discuss a few newsworthy items for the Edmonton Oilers before we return to action later tonight, tomorrow, and into Tuesday against the Vegas Golden Knights. So thanks for being aboard here this morning as we get set up obviously to talk number one about the Edmonton Oilers trade updates and kind of how that all fleshes out. What it ends up being for the Edmonton Oilers is the fact that right now, according to Kurt Leavins of the Nine Things column, I guess would be, yeah, that's what we're still calling him nowadays, on the Edmonton Journal, discussing kind of what the Oilers' actual physical number one need for the roster is at current. And as we look at it, it is a number three, number four center in Kurt Leavins' eyes. So we look at that and we kind of say, wow, we've talked about Elias Lindholm, we've talked about Sean Monahan, we've talked about Adam Henrique, and later today we'll talk about Jake Guentzel, who doesn't really fit that situation for the Edmonton Oilers. But a 3-4 center seems to be something that keeps getting brought up in terms of names being floated around the Edmonton Oilers organization. So that's exciting that there's kind of actually now some documented proof. I would encourage you to go read, the Nine Things article by Kurt Leavins and go pick up everything that's in there. There's a little tidbit too on how Brad Holland spent his All-Star weekend. So lots of goodies as always in that Nine Things article. Friends, like I said, it's an easy-going early morning edition here. If you are new to the channel, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button right here, right now. Closing in on 15,000, I think 140 away is what we're waking up to this morning. So should be able to do that by the end of that Vegas game here this week. But the other side too to this conversation is kind of what's happening down on the farm. And Low Tide, of course, had some information on Wright. Man, I can't talk today. Cameron Wright, who has been very much so impressing in his time down in the Oilers farm system. He's without an NHL deal, but Low Tide was kind of mulling over, would you give it to him? And I mean, Cameron Wright, from what he did early in the season and what he's continued to do here throughout the season for the Bakersfield Condors, has absolutely earned an NHL deal if the Oilers need a kind of just steady Eddie, right? If Brad Malone moves on, Seth Griffith moves on, those kind of guys, you need somebody that you can have in the depth in the wings waiting for that call up, and that would be one Cameron Wright. And the other guy getting a lot of buzz down in Bakersfield this weekend is Xavier Bourgault, who we know has kind of had a rough go since becoming an Edmonton Oilers player, prospect, whatever you want to say. He hasn't fully developed into what we expect a first round draft pick to be as of yet. Again, he's young. He was drafted in 2021. So there's plenty of time for him yet to turn out right. It's just a matter of this situation, you're in win now mode, right? You're in the cup or bust mode. And for the Oilers, what that means is a guy that's riding hot right now might end up being a guy that you go out and trade as opposed to a guy that you keep around to see what he does. So right now, hopefully for Xavier Bourgault, it ends up working out. But you'll see what happens, I guess. And obviously now too, that's also a good sign if he's doing good, because maybe next year when we need value contracts on the Edmonton Oilers squad, if Raphael Lavoie is still not around anymore, that's a guy you can turn to as a guy that could possibly change the dial within your bottom six. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I'm going to head up on out of here, and we'll catch you in the next one.